What up, Space Fam? Goes in here from AnimeUproar, and I'm back at it again to discuss the latest crazy chapter of the One Piece manga, and I gotta say, this one was great, so make sure to stay tuned for that. If you do enjoy seeing these One Piece chapter reviews and want to keep them coming, then channel the Pirate King within and smash that like button until it's blue. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial, hit that notification bell and select all, or you will miss future One Piece reviews. And while you wait for the next chapter to drop, which will be next week by the way, feel free to check out our growing One Piece playlist where we got videos about all the Yonko, Warlord, Supernova, and much more. Link to that is in the description. Now without further ado, let's jump into it, spoilers and all. You can't help but enjoy this week's cover art, which includes Katakuri sharing milk and donuts with hungry puppies and kittens. However, if for some reason there is someone out there who doesn't like Katakuri, sweets, puppies, and kittens, all of them, then you obviously won't enjoy it, and also I don't understand how you can exist. But moving on, we continue where we left off with the helpless Sanji who can't fight girls versus Black Maria, a very strong, brutal girl. Remember, Black Maria wants Sanji to call out for Nico Robin so they can capture her for Kaido. Obviously, we would assume that Sanji would play the White Knight and would never agree to lure Nico Robin into a trap by calling out to her. Black Maria set it up so that at the entrance, Robin would be ensnared by her web and then they'd shoot her up with tranquilizers. Black Maria is definitely a very dangerous woman, and she puts brass knuckles on and commences to beat up Sanji, who is tied up to her webs, and continues to bounce back again and again so he can get brutally beaten time after time. He's a fancy punching bag for this giant sexy spider lady at this point. You wouldn't think that such a brutal moment would end up being so hilarious, but it does. This is One Piece humor at its best for me. Initially they, like most of us, assume that Sanji is this brave chivalrous man who would rather die than risk putting his friend in harm's way. So as Maria is whooping his butt, her underlings are feeling great pity for Sanji. They can't hold back the tears. They make all these assumptions like he'd rather die than ask for help if it means endangering his friends. And another mentions that she might have fallen in love with him if they weren't on different sides. Clearly this one hasn't read Romeo and Juliet. Finally, Sanji yells out, "Stop," and says, "How am I supposed to get a word in if you keep hitting me?" Now, people assume he'll do a cool thing, like tell her to screw off, remain defiant, and say he'll never give in. But no, Sanji, exactly as instructed, shouts for Robin to save him, and we get a hilarious shocked reaction from everyone because he gave in so easily. Even Black Maria is shocked. He gives the location, says he's being held hostage, and apologizes. He says if she doesn't come, he'll be killed. Sanji begs to be saved. He gets called pathetic by listeners because remember, this is getting broadcasted everywhere. In the meantime, we see some hype matchups like Marco and King and Jinbei and Who's Who. I love how Jinbei looks completely chill and even comments on Robin in the middle of his fight. We get to see Frankie versus Sasaki, and at this point Sanji's manhood is even questioned. Immediately, Nami concludes that he must be up against a woman, knowing that's the only thing that makes sense. So tell me what you think of Sanji's decision to call Robin. I gotta admit, I thought this might be one of those honorable scenes that we get often from Zoro, where he's willing to take unbearable punishment for his crew. But this isn't what happened. Sanji is not Zoro, and I actually like what happened here, but we need to keep going so I can fully explain why. Sanji asked to be taken down now that he did what he was asked to do, but surprise surprise, Maria is not too honest. She plans to keep him as a pet, and we see some men who say they only love Maria. However, and this part I love, Sanji screams, "No, I love them all the ladies of the world." This part was so enjoyable, and I love how his love for all women sort of keeps him from being whipped by just one. The cure for being a simp, funnily enough, is to simp indiscriminately over all women. Black Maria, though, doesn't like shared attention or cheating, so she decides to beat Sanji some more to discipline him. Wow, Black Maria is much more savage than I thought she would be, I have to admit that. And then, as Sanji points out, he can't use armament hockey. Psychologically, he can't do anything that might hurt a girl, even if he's defending himself. so we can't really blame him for not being able to fight girls because he simply cannot do it. It's out of the question. And then we get such a nice and satisfying slap from Robin delivered to Black Maria. Robin sends her flying and reveals that she can bloom anywhere, so the entrance trap was indeed pointless. Sanji cries when he sees Robin, and you gotta give it to Oda. He gave Robin such an epic moment and entrance here. She tells Black Maria that seeing her friends mistreated brings out the devil in her. In this way, she plays on her nickname Devil Child in such a cool way, and the serious look in her eyes, it's just so hype. In the meantime, Brook comes in and uses the Underworld's chill to cut Sanji free. And his entrance is amazing too, saying, "Pardon me, but I already cut you free." Brook is super effective here, and we're told all of the spider webs are breaking apart because of Brook's frost. And then there's the hilarious moment of seeing Brook seeing the underlings and screaming out, "Ah, monsters!" despite the fact that he's a walking, talking skeleton. Man, I love this skeleton so much. Sanji goes rushing off to help Kinemon and the others, knowing he can't help here. Sanji runs from the scene as Robin keeps getting cooler and cooler, asking Black Maria about her last words and everything. She also has a heartwarming, beautiful moment where she smiles and says that Sanji made her day, and thanks him for counting on her. My heart is melting as I revisit this. And like me, Sanji has hearts in his eyes as he looks at Robin and leaves, and of course slips because it's icy at the entrance thanks to Brook. So now, did Sanji come off kind of lame here compared to if he stoically took a savage beating and refused to cooperate with Black Maria? I mean, you could make that argument, but I still enjoyed this moment because it reminds us about what this whole Nakama stuff is about. Although it's super inconvenient, the truth is Sanji can't fight women. He just can't do it. So it makes sense that he would ask his crew for help to help him where he can't help, so that he can help elsewhere. Now I'll try not to say the word help for a while. But anyways, that is the ultimate good for the crew. At the same time, he trusts in Robin. Remember, in the last chapter, he told Black Maria not to underestimate Nico Robin. He doesn't view her as someone who needs protecting. Rather, he views her as someone he can rely on when necessary, and not just that, Robin is extremely touched that Sanji feels this way. She's had trouble finding a purpose to exist in the past, and by showing her she's needed, Sanji is actually doing her a big favor too. All around, do I think that Zoro would have been cooler in this situation? Yeah. But Sanji is also great, and he recognizes his shortcomings, and of course he would rely on his Nakama just as he'd want them to rely on him when they need to. We don't rely on Zoro for directions, and we shouldn't rely on Sanji for fighting girls. We just have to accept that. We jump to Momonosuke, Yamato, and Shinobu. Their place is surrounded, so what is the only logical solution? Well, of course it is to keep Momonosuke safe and out of sight by, wait for it, having Momonosuke hide under Yamato's clothing. Man, this is one lucky shogun. Shinobu and Yamato break out, and Yamato decides to knock the enemies out so they won't be able to see, taking Shinobu's worries about being seen very literally and very hilariously. We see Jack back in the mix, and he says he will take care of the samurai, putting down the Flying Six by saying that the Flying Six can't handle the samurai even if they are on death's door. That's actually a very interesting turn, and it seems like Sanji and Jack are going to be meeting up soon, which would be a fight I enjoy seeing. Maria accepts, although she says she is being severely underestimated. Earlier on, we had Yamato take off her clothes, and now we have Maria doing it too. Man, you gotta love Oda. I have no idea how they'll show this fight, but she is no longer wearing the upper part of her kimono. We see a crazy weapon in her hand, and the tattoo on her back reads, "Dangers of Women." Definitely fitting for Black Maria's whole Black Widow angle. She's attractive enough to lure men in, and strong enough to kill them or make them her slaves. She tells Robin that she belongs to Kaido, and Robin, looking beautiful, says, "No thanks, I'd rather die." And of course, Brook is blushing, because because there is a naked, attractive woman right in front of him. Oh man, the combination of serious fights and significant stakes with laugh out loud humor makes One Piece so unique and amazing. I love this chapter so much, even if there wasn't some crazy reveal or crazy fight, but I guess it depends on how you define a crazy reveal. But anyways, that's a sign of a good mangaka, that he can make quote-unquote in-between chapters this good. I didn't even miss the rooftop fight, although now that I mention it, I do really want to know what's going on up there. Hopefully Oda will let us know soon, but I'm not complaining. This was great, and Robin and Brook, to me personally, were especially exceptional. As always, let me know what you thought of it and what you expect to see happening next. You guys know I loved it. We didn't figure out who the mystery figure was yet, but we will soon enough, hopefully. There's so much to look forward to. If you do enjoy seeing these One Piece chapter reviews and want to keep them coming, then channel the Pirate King within and smash that like button until it's blue. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial. Hit that notification bell and select all, or you will miss future One Piece videos. And while you wait for the next chapter to drop, which will be next week by the way, feel free to check out our growing One Piece playlist where we got videos about the Yonko, Warlords, Supernova, and much more. Link to that is in the description. And I especially want to thank the patron squad over on Patreon and here on YouTube who helped make videos like this one possible. First and foremost, I want to thank the patron of legend, the one acknowledged by Lord Twigo himself, and the most donated champion of the world, Alpha Sigma, and are the 1-tier patrons, the ones who stand atop all clans, Ingrata, The World, Acquire Respect, Bate, Hefa, Liam Thompson, Aljatal, Dr. Courtman, Johnny Boy Draws, Emperor Otaku, Spidey Life Tanel, Baked Buddhist, and Tungsten Tarkus. And our Pro Hero tier patrons, the one and only Gilgamesh, Steelers, Angel Cruz, Anatoly Kazatsky, Joe Stanton, Barry Gucci, Jessica Kayla Vaughn, Rathuende Aura, Alicia Actor, Bonnie Parks, Hinokami and Water, The Red Haired Raven, Joanne Garcia, Jack Watches Anime, Fatboy Games, Ted No Ted, Deadly Saint, Matthew Cruz, and Anthony Schreiber. Thank you all so much. If you do enjoy our work, you can support more of it by going over to patreon.com/AnimeUproar and becoming a patron today for as little as $1. If you do so, you'll get your name featured in future videos alongside these amazing epic people right here, and you'll even get access to our private patron-only Discord where we talk about anime, life, waifus, and of course, dank memes. So check out patreon.com/AnimeUproar. Link to that is in the description if you're interested. You can also join the YouTube channel by clicking that blue join button next to the subscribe button that you've hopefully already clicked. So yeah, you can support more content that way if you prefer. Whichever way you choose to support us, you can get the same great benefits. Thanks again, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.